My name is Sydney Toy. I'm an English literature major, and I'm also a senior. The piece of media that matters the most to me, out of all of them, is probably The Handmaid's Tale. The book, not the show. I haven't watched the show yet. I know I'm terrible. I think it was about 2 years ago, and that's when the show came out on Hulu, excuse me. And let's see, it was on every feminist reading list. I saw it popping up everywhere. A couple of my professors were like, oh, you should read this book. You should really read this book. And in the meantime, I was also looking for a topic to write about for my honors thesis. And I was in the bookstore one day and I was like, oh, you know, whatever, I'll pick it up and see how I like it. And it actually took me 6 months to finish because I would read sections and I'd be so disturbed that I'd have to, what I'm saying is making it sound like a terrible book, but I promise it's not. I'd have to put it down because it was so powerful. And it was moving me so much. And by the time I finished it, I remember walking into my advisor's office, Dr. Sadlak, and I said to her, I'm writing about the Handmaid's Tale no matter what. Like, this story needs to be told, and there's just so much here to work with. So, and I've discovered it throughout as well. It matters to me because it's such with the period in which we live in now, it's a story that, while it was published 34 years ago, it's something that is relevant today. And it's important to me because if you look closely, like if you read the novel or you watch the show, and then you look at what's happening I don't want to specify it to American politics, but if you look at what's happening in politics around the world and the wrong that women still, not the wrong that women, the difficulties, for lack of a better word, that women still face today, or the restrictions that are continually being placed upon them. The novel outlines that completely and fully. In the novel, women have it's an extension, like women have absolutely no rights in the novel, which is not true here, but there are a lot of similarities. So to me, reading that novel made me want to fight. And it made me want to stand up and say, this is wrong. And this can never happen in the United States, in Canada, in the United Kingdom, in anywhere else in the world. This should not ever happen because it has come very close to happening. I mean, not to the extent and the extreme in which it has happened in the novel, but there are certain steps that, like, things that have to actually happen in the novel, they're like, whoa, that's a little too close to home. So it's important to me because it inspires fight in me, and it inspires like unbridled anger. I think for me, I've always turned to media, and when I'm feeling whatever I'm feeling, like I'm feeling sad, I'm gonna gravitate to like sad music or something that'll make me happy, like a John Mulaney special, or like Big Mouth or something that'll make me happy. Or if I'm happy, I want to listen to more happy music or watch something that'll make me happy. But I also think media has really inspired me. Just with Handmaid's Tale, I've talked about how it made me want to fight. And I had similar experiences with Nina Cried Power, which was written by Hosier, and Jack Boot Jump, which was also written by Hosier. Both songs have made me want to have inspired such emotion in me to stand up and fight and to use what I can do, like my personal power, and help empower others. Or something like Hamilton, which inspired me to want to become a lawyer and want to, want to study the Constitution and help those who are at risk of being hurt by laws made. So media, for me, it's so important because certain bits of it have inspired me to fight or to stand up, or maybe not inspired, but just made me happy or made me sad, or something that I turned to like quell emotions or increase them. The piece of media that I would get rid of is probably, there's so many, but it's probably the one thing that I've really been thinking of is the president's Twitter. I feel like it's so toxic and just, it's just bad. But also, I also thought a lot about this too. I would also get rid of commercials in between cable television. I feel like they're pointless and it's just promoting industry and corporations, which are the bane of our existence to begin with. So I'd either get rid of the president's Twitter or to cable TV commercials.